Okay, Board of Equalization's back in session. Go ahead and have the deputy clerk swear in everyone that is going to participate in the hearing at the 2 o'clock hour.
Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So, under Idaho Code 63501, the Board of County Commissioners are required to convene as the Board of Equalization. We're here to determine market value under Idaho Code 63205, which states that all real, personal, and operating property subject to property taxation. And who are you?
Justin Jones.
You're late. Yeah, we got to have you sworn in now. Go ahead.
Mr. Jones, if you'll please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Hey. Under Idaho Code 63501, the Board of County Commissioners are required to convene as the Board of Equalization. We're here to determine market value under Idaho Code 63205, which states that all real, personal, and operating property subject to property taxation must be assessed annually at market value for assessment purposes as of 12:01 a.m. of the first day of January in the year in which such property taxes are levied. Furthermore, under Idaho Code 63502, the function of the Board of Equalization shall be confined strictly to assuring that the market value for assessment purposes of property has been found by the assessor, and to the functions provided for in Chapter 6, Title 63 of Idaho Code, relating to exemptions from taxation. The taxpayer shall have the burden of proof in seeking affirmative relief to establish that the determination of the assessor is erroneous. A preponderance of the evidence shall suffice to sustain the burden of proof. We are here to discuss the market value of the property, the condition, the state, or information that is relevant to this topic. This is fact and not opinion. We are not here to discuss taxes, past grievances, policy, personal income, or other issues. If you do not stick to the discussion as requested, your time will be reclaimed. The process will be as follows. The property owner will be given 3 minutes. The yellow light or the white light will come on. When the yellow light comes on, you got 1 minute left. When the red light goes off, you're done. Then there will be questions from the assessor's table to the board. And then the assessor's table will have 3 minutes. The appellant will have, if you have questions about what they say, you'll ask that to the board also. The rules are to be kind, direct all questions or comments to the board. If your conduct is out of line, you will be warned. If your conduct continues to be out of line, you will be asked to leave the chambers, or we'll have marshals here and escort you out of the building. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then your 3 minutes will begin.
We're Rochelle and Ralph Lillig, and never been through the procedure before, so we're going to have to ask you to lead this dance. How do we start on questions and answers?
You just tell us why you feel, not opinion, but what's the facts of why you feel that the values are off.
Okay. There are some discrepancies. One kind of a glaring discrepancy in the property description in that our property is, do you need these?
May we give you?
We were told to bring in 3 copies. We assumed it was 3.
We already received
No,
them.
this is different.
No, if it's something different, we can't accept it because you didn't give us 3 days' notice.
Oh, well, we didn't get this notice until Friday.
We're kind of late in getting it,
So
so.
Okay.
there was no
Okay.
way.
At any rate,
But you can describe that stuff to us, okay?
It's from your site, so.
Okay. Go ahead and
the property in question, or in play here, is noted as having 5 bedrooms. It does not. It has 4 bedrooms. One room was used by the prior owner, a doctor, as an examination room for his patients. It's an office. It has no closet. It has only shelves and cable hookup for his medicine, his medical equipment.
All the, yes, his office work,
That,
so that we don't have 5 bedrooms.
yeah.
okay.
The property is as old as it is. You see there how old it is. the roof has never been replaced, and it's not in good shape. And we're not in a position yet to replace the roof. We have, I think I spelled out issues that you might need to know, that the flooring is its age.
The carpeting, the whole house carpeting is 26 years old, so as you
Yeah.
can imagine, it's pretty much shot. The
And-
roof has to be replaced. We've got a couple of estimates, but right now it's beyond our means to replace it or repair it. It'll probably last for another year, but we certainly couldn't sell it with that roof.
No.
There's a window in that office that we told you about, in that spare room, that leaks, and I got an estimate from a fellow with Anderson Windows. It can't be just taken out and replaced. They have to take out the whole wall to replace it. So it's about a $5,000 project between the roof and that wall and the carpeting, where we can't sell the place till we
No.
get it ready, unless we sold it at a considerable discount, which we couldn't afford.
Okay.
That's,
That's pretty much
other than
it.
that, it's just an old house. It's 26 years old and starting to show its age.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Your 3 minutes begin now.
Okay. As far as the roof is concerned, we consider that regular maintenance unless there is structural damage. As far as carpeting and painting, that is also considered regular maintenance. We do show the home as an average home that was built in 1996 with no updates. We, as far as the window, that would be a cost to cure. And we would just subtract that from the value if it was a $5,000 repair. And we're happy to go out and do a reinspection should the appellants want us to.
I see.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay, do you have questions about what she just talked about?
What about the bedroom that is not a bedroom? There's no closet in it, cannot be used as a bedroom. It's wired for an office because he did office things in there.
I can fix that, and I can fix it right now. We do have you in as 5 bedrooms, although that does not change the cost. It's valued per finished square foot, so the bedrooms is just additional information. It really will not affect the value at all, but I will go in and fix that right now. I've got 3 bedrooms on the main and 2 bedrooms in the basement.
It's 2 bedrooms.
There's 2
on the
bedrooms
main,
in the main.
Okay.
2 in the basement.
So I will fix that. I'll change that to 2 bedrooms on the main and just make it another room, an office.
So that doesn't change the value of the house.
But that won't change the value because it's off of finished square footage.
Commissioners, questions?
What's the
comments?
grade that you had the house graded at?
We have the house graded as good.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Go ahead and explain your grading system.
In 1996, that home is above average, just 1 step above the average home. We are showing it as a total of 5,270 square feet with 1,815 square feet of finish in the basement and obviously the main level is finished, so a total of 4,468 square feet. And the quality of the home would be just above an average home. And an average home would be a typical home built in 1996. That you can drive and just see them everywhere.
So you was talking about your roof. You said you had an estimate?
I've actually had 2 and they're kind of iffy, so I have to Yeah, we had, two of our neighbors have recently had theirs done. One of them has a much more graded hip roof than ours,
Great.
and he paid just under $35,000. We don't have as much surface space as he does. And we talked to another fellow that just had his done, and his was about $28,000. So we're figuring we're somewhere, and I actually lowballed it because I couldn't give an actual.
So you didn't actually get a?
No, this was estimating of what our neighbors have been through
estimate.
and the sizes of their house.
Okay.
their roof.
And that's why we're talking about preponderance of evidence. If you had an actual, somebody come by and give you an estimate,
Yeah.
then I would consider that. But when you're just talking about your neighbor's houses,
Okay.
that's not a preponderance of evidence
I
for what we're talking about on your property. The 5,000 for the windows?
Now, that was an estimate that the window, I had to have another window in the bedroom next to this room replaced. And I wanted to have that one replaced at the time. He said, well, we can't do it. And I said, why not? He said, because this isn't a slip-in. He said, we have to actually disassemble the wall, put the window in, and rebuild the wall. And I said, well, how much would that be? This was 3 years ago. And he said, right around $5,000. When I stopped choking, I thanked him. And
All right. Any further questions?
So if you have,
Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say cost to cure on a leaking window, even on your roof at 200 a square, there's 44 square on the roof. Well, actually you have less square than that because your roof is, I did it at 400 square feet. So you take the overall square footage price, I mean, even though you'd have a hip on it, you'd probably be 5 to 10 grand at 200 a square.
What's your number then?
I would just say it cost to cure at $10,000. The land value on this one is at 77, where all the neighbors are and in those neighborhoods is over 90. We just
Yeah.
had the one that we adjusted down to 90. So I would leave the land, but I'd do it a $10,000 cost to cure off of it.
So take the price from, on the improvement from 412 down to 400?
Yeah, 400, 402, whatever.
Yeah, 402.
Yeah, I mean, just, that gives you the cost to cure to fix.
A what?
So just take that. Oh,
This is,
what am I looking at?
so 50.
I decided to have a computer update right in the middle of trying to
That is correct.
read something.
So it'd be 55,
Yeah.
7, or from the total. It'd be,
So yeah, I mean, if you have a 5,000 for a window, and if there's probably another window or two in there, roof, basic rough roof stuff. If they don't have to have a full tear off,
65.
just to go in and re-shingle, you're at 200, maybe 250 a foot. I'd give you at least 10 right there.
May I?
Yeah.
63.
Hold on one
Yeah,
second.
635,096. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, they have a question.
I
Yes.
had one more question. Our back driveway, the cement is, I don't know what it's called, but all the cement comes off of it and it's all rock that's under there. And it's, my brother-in-law was a cement man, and when he came up to see it, he said that the thing had to be taken out and replaced. He said that it was poorly installed
he
because.
said it hadn't been cured properly, and that's why
Yeah.
it was crumbling.
So that it's crumbled, and that's, we have about, half of our back driveway from the garage halfway out is
So,
that, it's totaled.
Mr. Chairman, for me. So it's called spalling.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
And so.
It's called concrete,
Concrete.
not cement.
Cement is the added.
Oh.
Again,
Thank you.
without having, like, that's something specific, pictures, knowing, understanding like
Okay.
that, where you can do that. Where we don't have that right now, I'm not doubting that it's not doing
Okay.
that. That's a house 26 years old.
Yeah.
You probably have spalling in a lot of those areas, cracking and all that. You may have structural members or non-structural. That's a non-structural member of spalling.
Right.
So yeah, you will have some issues there, but that's one of them that you would work with the assessor's office. I always
Okay.
invite the assessor's office. Everybody thinks that if the assessor comes out, they're gonna make your house worth more. When you have a specific assessor that inspects, walks around, looks at, that's where they can actually look at it and say grade to condition, grade to concrete, grade to those other things. But like I said, I would make a $10,000 cost to cure then on this one. I'd invite an assessor out to do that. If there's more in-depth evidence of pictures, this, so forth and so on, I would take it to the Board of Tax Appeals then at that time, because that would give you a much stronger case than if that's actually what it is. If you actually have a roof bid and a roof company comes out, I don't know if you're doing an overlay or a full tear off, if you're replacing structural, take actual pictures, have that go in and have actual evidence at that time, because that would be a much stronger case than just having us try to, again, what we're governed by in the confines of the law is specifically what is in front of us. And so I would just say if you have pictures, bring that there.
If we'd had pictures for this, would that have helped? Because
Yes.
nobody told us that, and we're flying blind. We ask a lot of
We
questions.
made a video on Facebook. The staff actually made one to
Okay,
try.
we're getting out of schedule here, so we
Sorry.
gotta move along.
Sorry.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPGR 50010000, make a motion that we adjust the value down to 635,096 with the adjustment coming off the improvement.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we come down $10,000. If you're not happy with that, you have the ability to appeal to the state tax appeals or to go to the district courts. Also, the assessors table has them same options.
Okay.
Other than that, I would consider your hearing done.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Would you like me to give you a call and schedule a reinspection?
Well, if it would help get it down anymore, this, like everybody else, we're getting pinched.
All right,
Thank you
I'm
very
gonna
much.
move along here.
Thank you for your patience.
Eccleston.
Eskelson.
Eskelson. I'm gonna make Jones wait.
Okay, I went to high school with your son, so Jimmy. There's a Jimmy Eskelson I went to high school with up there. Well, I guess yeah, off Saturday.
No, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Good afternoon, commissioners, lady.
Please announce your names on the mic.
Rick and Debbie Eskelson.
All right, your 3 minutes will begin now.
Okay, we were here 2 years ago and we were arguing our assessed value of the property, and it was determined by the commissioners then that there's a large portion of our property that's unusable. It drops off a cliff, and it's still the same property. So we were given some relief for that. And this year, that property value has gone up from $63,000 to $110,000, which is it's the same property. And then the house itself has gone up from $514,000 to $726,000, which to us, you know, is an extreme amount, even though we realize that the houses are through the roof right now. But it just seemed like a lot to us, so that's what we're arguing. Yep, that's right. So that it's up $259,000, the total value of the assessment, from $577 to $836, which seems like a little extreme.
Okay. Any comments? No. All right, your 3 minutes begin now.
Okay. I would just like to state that subject property is .66 acres, so it's about 2/3 of an acre, built in 2005, and it is coming in at $124 per finished square feet. Comparable cell 1 is about a 1.4 acre parcel built in 2005, and it is coming in at $256 per square foot. Comparable 2 is coming in at $177, and comparable 3 is coming in at $177. Thank you.
Questions about what she just stated?
There's still, I agree that the lot size is .66 of an acre, but a large portion of that is unusable because it's cliff. There's no backyard at the house.
Yeah.
Commissioners?
So this is the one that, if you guys remember, 2 years ago, I'm trying to look it up, but this is the one that I think that had the pretty severe drop off the back.
It goes up.
Correct.
Like it's I'm looking it up. I'm trying to remember. Give me just a second. Brain's running out of memory right now. Yeah, that's the one that. It's this one right here. So literally, this is the one that the house is literally built on the edge of it, and they have like I don't know, it's a dog run or something in the backyard. Something. It's like a concrete patio that's built. Other than that, there's just So that's why I say that we had made an adjustment on this specifically because of the they filled if I remember right from the last conversation, you filled the back just to get the little piece of grass strip to get your lawnmower around the back.
Right, yeah, there's no grass behind the house.
Yeah.
There's a little bit on one side.
Yep.
And then just a triangle shape on the other side.
And that's it. There's not a usable parcel there. So while you're credited with a half acre, this is what we were talking about. Everybody looks at the .66, and that was the discussion of that was this weird. While there is standoff, there's not standoff that you're there. And so, like I said, we've had some of the others that were in there that we had adjusted in that 90s. Now, unfortunately, land values are actually catching up to what you guys used to be really high opposed to everybody else, and now it's slowly creeping into it, but it's still, yeah.
So, remedy?
I would probably make an adjustment, and what we did earlier with that land value, Jeff, it's not much, but right now, problem is lots up there are starting to sell 90s. Satterfields, they're selling 84, 86, 88. I have a problem when we start playing with that too high, but yeah, I'd make an adjustment to make sure that lot's even there. I haven't even looked at the improvements that way to see if they're in line or out of line or what's going
The
on.
improvements are okay. The land, I think, is the issue on this one.
We come down to 92 on that last one.
And your problem too is you guys have a really big spread out house.
Correct.
I mean, that's just, and the way that the assessment values work is you heard what they said, it's gross living space. It's just, if it's finished, yes or no. And it's not as precise as a specific residential appraisal. It's still in the ballpark. It's still, they get pretty good. They're usually under, but like I said, yeah, the land is the one that flagged. I didn't see anything on got a broken roof, got some leaking windows.
Well, it's got shingles that blew off that we haven't repaired yet, but other than that, I mean, it's a great house. It just looked like.
I'm going here, man. I'm trying to help.
We stayed on schedule the other day. I'm just
saying, if you got something that you're here, but we're trying.
Yeah, see.
Call for a motion?
Oh, you want to move it to Tal?
You can match the one that those land ones that are. I mean, it's just on the other side of the gully is the other land one that we hit. Was it what 92?
92.
I shouldn't say the other side of the gully. The other side of the where they're building the new lots and all the new stuff right there by the temple.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, on parcel RPHI 2002401, I make a motion that we adjust the land value to
32.
what? Did I miss one?
A different parcel number.
It's 3200.
Oh, sorry, 3200. Yes, I was looking at one of the neighbors. Down to 92,000.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we come down to 92,000 on your land value.
Okay.
Like I said, you still have the opportunity to appeal that to the state or to the district courts as well.
Well, that helps.
All right.
You tried. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Larson's. Not the first time you've been here either, is it?
It is the first time I've been here.
Oh,
2
We might
years
have
ago,
it.
my appeal was done over
Oh.
an email that we
okay.
sent to you. And thank you for accepting that appeal at that time.
All right, introduce yourselves, and
I'm-
your 3 minutes will begin.
This is Teresa, and I'm Eddie Larson, and our property's in Downey, Idaho. It's 8.35 acres. Last year, you increased the taxes on it, or the assessment on it, let's put it that way. The assessment increased almost 50%. This year, again, the assessment almost is around 85% higher than it was last year. When I evaluate land prices of places that are being sold, because this has no property on it, and no physical structures. It does have some discrepancies, which we'll talk about here in a moment, but when I compared it to other lands being sold and the per acre price that they're asking for, ours evaluates significantly higher. So I compared it to 3 other properties currently on the block for sale in the Downey area. And one's for 40 acres, another 44 acres, another for 100 acres. The average that it came up to per acre was $7,728.11 per acre. Our land, you've evaluated $9,856 per acre. And when I look at the fact that these other lands do not have these gullies and big deep ravines that ours has in it, I took the lowest one of these that was being sold now, and I wouldn't think that our tax assessment should be any different than this one that was going for $5,999. And that's just on the old Malad Highway, west of Downey, down by the slough bottom. And so when I consider, and I think you hopefully would consider, these big ravines that are 30, 40 feet deep and that run almost 3/4 of the length of our property, and also one in the center of it where the runoff from the nearby fields comes every spring when the snows melt, that you would consider that our value of our property would be significantly less valuable to somebody trying to buy property of a similar nature in that same area. So my suggestion is you take the third that I've come up with of the 3 properties that I compared ours to and the per acre value of $5,990 and apply that to ours. That would be an increase to my assessment, which would be approximately $50,016.50 for the 8.35 acres.
Go ahead and finish your statement.
Okay.
Just wrap it.
And so basically, I think that the assessment is significantly too high for the type of property it is. Its nature of its use has always been for pasture land and for a feedlot in the winter. It has been as long as I've been alive and before my grandfather owned it. So I would hope that you'd look at that situation and suggest that almost doubling the taxes in 1 year is significantly higher than it should be.
Mr. Chairman, I just have some quick questions. Do you have irrigation water to this land?
There is no irrigation
Do you
water.
have, I was trying to look right quick, is the only access way over the train tracks you come in on Grant Road?
The access, you come in off of the Grant Road, right across from the cemetery.
Okay,
That's it,
okay. And there's no improvements other than the land? This parcel's just bare land?
just bare land.
You have no well?
There's no well.
You have no
We have
anything on this
We have
ground?
no electricity, we have
You're
no,
not in the city of Downey, correct?
we have no plumbing. Well, we're listed as right next door to people who are the
But
front end of the property.
So it's half in the city and half in the county?
That's what, well, the whole thing's in the county, of course.
Well, but what I mean is half is in city jurisdiction.
If
the other-
somebody, if we were to be trying to sell the property, which we are not, the front end of the property, which is 70 feet wide, you would be able to plumb into the city. Right now, there are no plumbing, no sewer lines or anything.
So, question for you then.
Okay.
So, if I built a house on the front part of your property, would I vote in the city of Downey?
That would be, yes.
Okay. So you have a weird.
It's a weird layout because the property is a 1/4 mile long in depth.
Yep. Okay. All right. I'm good there.
But the
All
big,
right.
but
We'll
the
move
big, but the big ravines are just a huge downer.
All right, all right. Any questions from the assessor's table?
I would like to just make a comment, just throw it out there that if appellant is not planning on selling this adjoining property, that by combining the two parcels, it would be.
It's one parcel on your records, though.
It's two parcels on our record, but we.
I was unaware of that.
This would be able to be combined
Okay,
as one parcel. But yeah, we've got the one with the home site as the last four digits, 4803, and the bare land at 4802.
Okay.
But the way it's
So
being.
what's the value of the two properties in? Because all we're looking at right now is 4802.
Yeah, and the one with the home site was not appealed.
I know, but as you're talking about combining them,
Yes.
just to give us an idea, because I mean,
Let me
it sounds like
just,
this one doesn't have a home site available if the other one does.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
what I was getting at in the city and the county is if, because you'd appeal to the city, your septic field or drain field would not be applicable then because you'd be going to city sewer and water. There's a home site available, there's just not one established yet.
correct.
And so the question is contiguity is what she's getting at. While this is a parcel that's broken to 8 acres, your neighbors to the west have not broken their lands, their side off. The others to the east did, and there's large parcels with 2, looks like half-acre parcels broken off. So it's a weird.
Yeah, my neighbor to the east, I've discussed this with him too, and he wasn't aware, but I will be applying for the ag status for that property.
For this parcel?
For this parcel.
See, so
And he's
that's,
got to do the same thing. He didn't realize that that was a problem.
do you run cattle on it right now?
Yes.
Do you have a lease that you?
I
produce?
don't actually run any cattle on it.
Do you have
My
a lease
neighbor-
then that
My
produces
neighbor
it?
does, just a bare minimum amount. Just
Do you have a lease that produces $1,000 a year in
No.
receipts?
No. We make $40 a month. That's how much our lease is for.
What's that?
I still would like him to apply. I've got an
Yes, I know, that's what I'm saying, this is,
and that main parcel is 1.65 acres.
yeah.
So, and that's where the well is.
So, yeah, was not aware that you had this split up in that fashion.
You have, because it's long and weird, you couldn't divide it into 2 home sites in their city and that would stand off left and right. It would be a weird, abnormal parcel, so you couldn't do 2 building parcels.
So unless that's listed as agriculture,
It's probably ag ground,
it's gotta be at that price.
yeah. Yeah, it's ag ground. Current year tax, $1,400 to the.
You're proposing 50,615?
That's what I'm proposing, 50,016, which is an increase from last year's.
Yep, I'm good with that. So, Mr. Chairman, on parcel RP, let me make sure I get it right, RPRD CPD 005011, I make a, no?
Did you do it again?
Oh, I did, sorry. Dang. All right, from the top, parcel RP RD CPD 004802, I make a motion that we accept the appellate's proposal of 50,615. And strongly encourage you to get with the assessor to combine those into one.
And to apply for an ag exemption.
We have a
Yes.
motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
So
you. Appreciate
we've
that.
made an adjustment, and you've heard my spiel. Both of you have the opportunity to appeal to the state if you
Okay.
so choose. All right.
Appreciate your hearing us.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Sorry, I was listening to Counting Crows and when he said Mr. Jones. You probably get that a lot.
I do.
Go ahead and announce yourself, and your 3 minutes will begin.
Okay, Justin Jones. I am a residential home builder here in town, and I just have recently built myself a new home up 2.5 mile off of Prairie Vista. I don't know. I've never appealed anything or anything else like that, so thanks for having me. But I just saw the property value come in, and then the home value come in, and was blown away by it. Because I know what I insure the house for, and then also what the bank, when they sent out their appraiser, what it appraised for, and it's just way, way, way over everything. So, that's it.
Okay,
I have some follow-up just to answer some.
okay.
So you stated you're a residential home builder.
Yes,
So you're a general contractor that goes
General
from start
contractor.
to finish, and you constructed this home?
yes.
When did you construct this house?
When was it finished?
Yeah, when did you get your CO?
I would say about this time last year.
5/1/21.
There you go.
Yep, okay. I just wanted to make sure that that was the
Yeah, year ago.
timeline. And how many acres are in there?
8.9 or something like that. Half of it's unbuildable because there's a big flood zone back there, and so they have like markers on the back half of it or whatever. I don't know exactly.
Yep.
It looks like, feels like half. I don't know, but
Okay. All right, that's all the questions I have for right
Okay.
now. Maybe ask you
Question
another.
from the assessor.
and I don't
Dave?
have any driveways or roofs or anything that are blown off. So.
Hope not. Any questions?
I'd call the contractor.
I have no questions.
All right, your 3 minutes begin now.
Thank you. Subject property was built in 2021, and last year's value is not the full value of what it was valued. That is what we call an occupancy. And it's only put on for the months that the home was occupied. So, having said that, this is a completely, let's see, we've got 3,239 square feet on the main, 2,973 square feet in the basement, of which there's 1,800 square feet of finish. And I believe the back half of Prairie Acres is open space, and it can't be built on. Having said that, comparable one is built in 2014. It's got 3,096 square feet, and it is coming in at $303 per square foot finish. Same quality. Comparable cell number 2 coming in at 222 square feet. Per finished square feet, $222. And this one has acreage on it also. Comparable cell number 3 coming in at 222 square feet. We are showing this home as being good condition. And there's also, let's see if I can find a residential garage of 45 by 70 square feet. And that's all I've got. Thank you.
All right, questions, what she has said.
The shop is the best part of everything. No questions. I don't know the square footage. That seemed high, but I was thinking the square footage of the home was, and I could pull out plans and stuff later, but I thought main floor square footage was 24, basement was that, and then upstairs was I thought it was around 14 or 15, but again, I haven't looked at the plans for a year.
Is it a full finished basement then?
No, it's not full finished, but it's close. I mean,
Okay, so then the question I had for you, were you the developer of that subdivision?
no. So the subdivision got developed, I believe, back in 2007, and then it went bankrupt, and then some, I forget his name, out of Utah bought it up and finished it off.
6
Yeah.
acres.
So, is that over by, my computer's having
So
problems.
it's off of Walton, that's the thing too. is
It's
you
right
can't
off
even-
of Walton.
You can't even find the.
Yeah, it's not on the GIS I kept putting in, it kept taking me to
It's a
Crazy
sub-
Road
it's
in
a sub
Texas.
street off of Walton.
Okay. The question that I would have for you then is, so you purchased that lot.
Yes,
So do you have a purchase price on that lot? Did you had an actual contract for the purchase price
Yeah.
on that lot?
yep, through Sean Bridger. Sean Bridger was the
So
listing.
he was the selling agent. So
Yeah.
I'll just tell you, and I'll give you the answer if you want to answer it or not. They have a land value of $213,337.
Yeah.
Is that in line with that purchase price, or is it?
157 is what I paid for it.
And you did, so that's what I'm saying. So that right there, and so this is a weird subdivision, and I figured it out where it was at. So you have the freeway to the west, you have the the Simplot holding pond on the other side, and then you're to the east. And so 2.5 miles back, you go down Walton Road. So you're correct, the open space to where you have that, but what we have this discussion of open space of what can and cannot be, you can't split and go put another lot in there, correct?
Yes, no,
Okay.
no.
So if you have a lot that was under contract for 157, I'd even call it 160, whatever you want to call it, just make it easy math because my head hurts today.
Yeah.
That's the one issue that I have. I will tell you right now, they have you listed of price per square footage of what was listed at $149.82 a square foot.
Okay.
And I don't know if that,
I don't know what that means, but
no, that's what their finished total square foot. So like when you're charging somebody to build a house, if you're going to charge, I don't know what you're going square
right
foot
now
rate.
it's low, to be 100% honest with materials and everything else. I know that doesn't do well for my case, but right now that's low.
So what I would say is if there's a question on square footage, because if you built it, seem high, whatever, my main thing would just be your land thing, because that was the one thing that kind of where it's,
If you bought it last year at 150.
and land's not going to appreciate, I mean, it's going to appreciate, but it's
Even
not.
if you do the 2% a month, that would put it at 187.5, which is consistent with the lots that are around you.
Are there, the better question would be, are they still, is Bridger still selling those lots? Or are they
They're
all
gone.
gone?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
all
they're-
gone.
So that's why I say there's probably a little bit to it. They're a little bit bigger lot. They're out in the rural, but when the one thing that gave me heartburn was I saw the 213. I don't know of any actual lots that sold like that other than a very, very few that have a much better view and some other things.
I know that right as you're coming up 2.5 miles, there's a few, like 5 lots that Shiazawa's trying to do up there.
Matt Shizawa, yeah.
And I think he started high, but I think he's down to like 190 now.
He hasn't sold any.
Still, yeah.
And so that's what I say is your lot value for me has some heartburn. The other thing is I would ask that you get specifically plan specs measure and have them actually go in and do that. Because because what you said and what they said, you built it, you don't know what's going on there. I'd hold it as it is, but I would make sure that that's correct because if there is something that got messed up on it.
And I would like to say, I don't know if you remembered me, but I was the one that went up
Oh,
and
did you go
measured
through?
it. Yeah.
Oh, so you measured it then?
Yes,
So
and-
she's probably accurate then.
But I'm happy to go up and
Okay.
check our
No,
measurements.
you don't have to. I'll double check the house plans. That's fine. If
The land was the
measured
thing
it.
that caught me up.
I can print out our sketch too.
All right.
so you can-
That would-
I'm going to call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that on parcel, make sure I get it right this time, RRPER 000500, that we adjust the land value to 187,500 and leave the improvements as is.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Thank
we
you,
made an
guys.
adjustment there.
I apologize for being late.
No, you're okay, man.
Thank you.
You're okay. You're a working guy.
I appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right.